Which clamp? Ah. Clamps, never heard of it. All right, y'all, so quick install. We got the new version 2 S&B filters / JLT air intake. Maybe call it a cold air intake, maybe not. But yes, it is the version 2, so it's for, I believe, 2019 Hellcats and up. Now, 2019 Hellcats, as Adrian's already getting into the weeds here, which there's really not a lot to it, but they come with a very stout OEM setup. Now, granted, it is more of like a plastic flexi deal here. Filter, pretty big, but I guess S&B filters thought it could be bigger. So you guys will see here in a sec when we unbox this that it is what I call OEM plus. So it's gonna be a hard inlet here. Obviously, same throttle body, got to be the same size to connect there, but this is gonna get maximized a little bit. But, so what do we got? We got to pull this puppy out. I think it comes with a new one of these.
Yeah, new box.
Yep. Remember the Redeyes, at least, they come with the snorkel from the grill, which I do have a bone to pick with Dodge, because right where Adrian's at, they put the grill and the badge here, but that's really cool because they put the badge right in front of the snorkel area. So, you know, call that 5 horsepower right there in the minus category because it's impeding the airflow right into this puppy. I was on the way here driving. It was about 86 degrees outside, and IATs driving at 50 miles an hour, kind of just cruising. We're in the 120s, so anywhere from the low to the high 120s. So we're looking at, you know, plus 35, plus 40 with the OEM as far as IATs go. And that should be where we gain some power other than just the less restricted flow, in my opinion. So got the Dodge filter right here. Not a bad filter. Put that on ground. You can see the box. Get the snorkel right in there. Something comes up from the bottom too. I think it has the where the fog lights would be. It sucks from down low, I believe. Yep. And then also comes in from the hood. It's not technically the air grabber hood because I think that's the Demon. This is for heat extraction, not intake, which this thing makes a lot of heat. I was surprised the IATs were so high. I texted Tommy, Adrian, on the trip. Mm-hmm. The WRX IATs are only +5 ambient on the highway. Okay. Even when it's 100 degrees out, which I thought was pretty wild.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a couple, these 10 mils, a little less than that, 8.
Yeah.
8, and then the little, what are they, T20? They look a little tiny.
Sure, let's say on there. 25.
25? Everything looks small with this massive car. This thing has like the footprint of a Raptor, but it's a car. Only sensors you had to remove were what?
Intake air temp sensor.
IAT, yep.
And then I got to get this little hose off here for what I think is PCV.
Yeah, I think people, the catch can videos I've seen mess with that. All right, Adrian's getting the last part of the air box out. I want to grab these out of the box, called an unboxing. All right, so we got the filter and the air box here. That filter just takes up like the whole thing. This thing, hard inlet. And I'll show you guys the filter comparison. Got an extra little hose here. I don't know. That's about some gasket / adapters. I think this is for the snorkel part of it, or the extra, yeah, intake and the main worm clamps. Another, that might be to the
Adaptable filter, probably.
Maybe. This almost looks like small enough to go around the throttle body, maybe. Stickers. They kind of, it's like they took the OEM filter and basically hollowed it out almost.
So it's actually made by
JLT. I believe JLT got bought by S&B. Yeah. These are cheaper now, believe it or not, than the old ones. The old ones are like $3.99 or $4.29. This was $3.49. Was that?
Pre-oiled.
Yep. It is pre-oiled?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So my cleaning kit will just get used at a later date? Then?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to do the filter comparison first. Is this the new one or the old one?
Old one.
See, that's tricky. This thing's warm, it's for sure. Orient it this way. All right, filter comparison. Same but different.
Yeah, pretty much.
Here's the difference though, in my opinion. They got a good little graphic on the website that shows like the airflow or whatever. But main difference is this. It's like almost a 7-inch or something opening right there. That's probably closer to 6, maybe 5.5. Little dimple on the end for good measure. Alrighty. All right. Well, Adrian is probably going to be an IT guy pretty soon. He found that there is a missing word from the link they provide here, and this QR code, as you guys may or may not see on the screen, is not coming up. So it's the ending of the link says install, and then it says dash instruction, right?
Yeah, it's
dash instruction. So I'm sure JLT/SMB will fix that in the future. A couple things. So this little snaky boy, I believe, is for a Challenger, from what we found on the install instructions and just by playing Legos over here. This goes to this, and this is on the Charger, what you use to do kind of the adaptation of that snorkel that comes with the grill/headlight action. We haven't put it on yet because he's kind of testing fitment, so waiting on that. Starting to reinstall some of the 8 mils. There is a dimple. This thing is so similar that it's pretty easy to show you kind of what we're doing even on the one that's out of the car. So what he was just pushing down was this dimple into the, not frame, but into the body. It's one of the body panels, has a nice little dimple on it. Okay, so is this in for sure now, Adrian?
Yeah, the only thing I gotta double check is if there's a spacer or something that goes in there, if it just sits like that and I just tighten that down.
Okay.
It's like it almost wants
So
to sit down more,
yeah.
but it can't.
How does that feel right down here? I mean, is it because this puppy doesn't? Oh, that feels like it's in.
Yeah. I think it's just that rubber down there, you know?
Yep.
Holding it up. So once we
And it's not supposed to be like a direct fit. It's going down a little bit, especially on your side. I just feel like this could pop up more. Maybe not. Well, I'm still in the Army, so that's good enough for government work. I don't know if it's good enough for here, but yeah.
It's just to make a air seal, somewhat of an air seal.
And this will put a little pressure on it and everything.
It ain't going nowhere. That ain't going anywhere.
And ratchet strap this puppet down. All right, so Adrian just installed the Charger. Remember, it keeps the factory headlight grill scoop. It pokes out right here, so this is the factory one, but they include the gasket to go ahead and seal that off for the good connection. And then Adrian just identified that this first lip hooks onto here very nicely, and then obviously this is for the worm clamps and the hard inlet, which is behind his arm right there. you have any opinions on the way they do the stock
I mean,
intake ones? I mean, they're not bad.
no, I mean it's plenty. I mean it's a ton of air, and if you
Yeah.
you'd think by looking at the outside of it, it's very corrugated and stuff. But if you look inside,
The inside's not. Yeah,
it's it's got some here, but it's smooth
Yeah.
otherwise. So
yeah.
I, mean,
I can see why they do that though. I mean, for the the motor, you know, flex and everything.
yeah, because this motor does move quite a bit when you.
That's what.
You
All right.
see
I mean, this thing, I don't think I've ever revved it indoors to 5,000. So, in track mode, all of those things. So the revs y'all heard, I'll put it in the overlay titles. But when y'all heard the revs, it was track mode, AC off, in park and in neutral. I switched back and forth, but it was as loud as I know how to make this thing while it's still stock. So the 3 worm clamps, right?
Yep.
And this is the
throttle body.
throttle body, just with all the like, what is this clamp right here? The sensor? Just
like
controls
your
it.
TPS, yeah, you could grab a wire.
So we decided to put those 2 behind it, but then this one was real easy to just kind of keep out front. So y'all can kind of play with it to see how stealth you want it. If you guys want to play the game of saying your car's stock or whatever. Or just looking real clean, but I think that's not a bad setup. So it looks like the design of their gasket here is that when the motor cranks, it just...
Yeah, it's a little wiggle room. Yeah. Or it allows you to upgrade throttle bodies and inlets and ported blowers. And
yeah, I mean, I know a lot of shops that do like their packages, their stage packages. They like the old JLT because they just would get the other version of this bad boy, which was not as stout as this part right here. That's what when I went on their website, I was like, that doesn't look like a JLT. And then it was like, okay, it's a new one. So basically you're losing this corrugated part. That's more or less what you're losing. You're gaining 1/2 inch to 1 inch wider mouth.
I'd say another thing would be the filter, the inlet to the filter.
Yeah.
You know, because this is so much bigger.
Yeah, the mouth to the filter I think is like almost 7 inches or some crazy thing like that. Seems like the filter almost takes up a tiny bit more of the whatever it's called too. Oh, did you already put the fitting on there? Yeah. And so this is just what type of piping? Just like
just regular old fuel hose.
Fuel line hose? Yeah, fuel hose. And then what is this stuff? Like what is
Some corrugated
weird
nonsense. OEM stuff.
Is it just air in here?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's a little tacky. All right, where are you cutting?
Wants us to cut the corrugated hose off the barb. Just like that.
Oh, because then that hose is just spent. And then you keep the barb there?
Yep, and then you connect the hose to the barb.
Did they say that that's the PCV system or?
It didn't say.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
it looks like it is because it goes right to the valve cover.
Okay. Long enough?
Yeah. Just trying to see if we can cut it down or anything. Doesn't look like it.
No, it looks pretty fair. That's the, okay, IAT.
Yeah, it just pushes into the a grommet like the factory one does.
Yeah, it looks like she's in there. And then that one is more of a lock-in type.
Yeah, it's like a quarter turn.
Okay. Those are the only two, sensor type or...
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because the rest of that's your map sensor. And there's another map sensor on the back of the blower. I think there's a before or top half of the blower map sensor and a bottom half of the blower map sensor.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, and that is all. All right, so if you do this, you get left with these two, and then because those have to go.
And then we can put these clamps on that hose if you want.
Yeah, I'm down if you're down. Yeah, let's snap those puppies on there. That's AC line, you said?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're zip tying the PCV hose to the AC line, and then we have the IAT wire, just a little bit more slack on it because I guess it was farther away or something like that. So he's zip tying that to just wire down there.
You always make me work on stuff hot.
All right, so coupler, hose, thermometer or whatever, IAT. It's got a little dimple on it. Should be good. See if you can even see. Not too bad. Oh, I forgot to remove this while we were in there.
I don't know if you would have got the ones in there.
I don't think so. I'm probably gonna.
You could probably pop these clips out.
I tried it already, and that's also why I cut this. I was trying to my. If we were skinnier people, we might be able to get there, but. If it lets me rev it all the way up.
Maybe to me it sounded maybe a little bit more high pitched, like a little bit shriekier. I called it, but.
Yeah, we'll see on the way home. I'll give it some gas and I'll put the clips side by side, but some of it is probably just for ideally performance, hopefully. And then
we're still on basically a stock car too.
Yeah, yeah.
We've told people in the past, even on the WRX, like you're not optimizing anything until you start tuning it. Either,
yeah.
So.
Tuning, or the other thing is I have a ton of high octane fuel in the garage now because I thought I was going to have that high octane tune. So next time I take it out in a serious way, I might just put that in there because those fuels don't gain us power, but they keep us from losing power, right? Because it keeps us from pulling timing. And it's summer out here in Tennessee, so these things pull timing pretty quick from what I've seen.
What do you have to do to go E85?
What?
When can you go E85?
With warranty or without warranty?
I mean,
well, that's the thing. Dodge accidentally released the stage 3 info for like, I don't know, 2 hours, and people screenshotted it. So it's looking like the stage 3 might be like 20 grand full, just wholesale headers, injectors, ported or a different snout for the blower, the different throttle body. So that might be in the works, but when you're talking 20 grand as opposed to like the extra 80 horsepower you're about to get was more like 4 or 5 grand, which yeah, I get it. You're going to have a 1,000 horsepower car, but I don't know. That's going to be crazy.
Maybe E85 with the stage 3.
Yeah. It would basically just be Demon 170 minus a little bit because they said the Demon 170 has different internals, a lot of different things. So I don't think these red eyes can necessarily support if you're going to do the factory stuff. But I don't know. So we're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place here, depending on what we want to do. Wait for the direct connection. I kind of want to wait for the direct connection, stage 2, which is what we were going to get, because I think we might be able to get this car into the 9s, like a 999, take all the seats out, put a radial on it, get the front skinnies, run the high octane tune. I mean, it was running a 10.8 with me just at the track, not even in the right settings, on a 20 inch in the rear. So I think it's got it in it with the right stuff, and that was a pretty warm day. So intake, exhaust, and then the stage 2 with all the supporting mods. There is a guy running 9.9 in his it's a Challenger narrow body though, so he's got a little bit of the weight savings on there, and then yep. But all right, well, I'm gonna take you guys out on the road and we'll see how this thing is, and then if we ever get a discount code or anything like that for JLT, I'll put it in the linked the link in the description and the pinned comment.